This is going to be part 1 in our series about customer service initiatives. So Levi Gray is in charge of our customer service experience, and he is always working on ways to try to improve that. So what we wanted to do was create a series of videos to kind of talk about specific initiatives that he is driving and working on to improve that process.
So ultimately what started it with was a technician that was kind of asking questions about, what do I say when a customer does this and what do I say when a customer does that. We shouldn't just have one customer service person who can basically speak with the customers, but every single person that is kind of a way that they interact with the customer.
What can we do to be consistent in our communication from start to finish, no matter who you talk to on the phone,
right,
who you communicate through email with, or whatever the case may be, that we're always providing that consistent message to our customers? One of the things that we've tried to focus on at Loc-Doc is, especially within the last couple of years, is not thinking in terms of right now, but thinking in terms of what does this department look like in 6 months, in 6 years, in 2 years. This is our first episode kind of in the series, and we don't have, this is literally a brainstorming type session. We don't have all the answers right now. We don't even know if this is going to work or how it's going to work. Nope. So what we're trying to figure out is we're going to kind of dialogue the brainstorming part of it, and then we'll do a follow-up video as time goes on as to how it worked and how it didn't work.
My first question, ultimately, when it comes to customer interactions, what do customers want to hear when they're on the phone? Who do we need to be for the customer? So I think it led to a lot of identity questions, which would lead to how we interact. So who we are leads to what we do. Who we are leads to how we speak with the customers. So what kind of a person are they wanting to talk to? They want somebody who's authentic, who knows what they're doing, who is committed to doing that well, and they want someone who's going to communicate that with them. So those are the 4 points, which I conveniently labeled into 4 C words. For someone who wants to display authenticity, they have to be compassionate, which means I'm a real person and I care about you as a real person. For someone who knows what they're doing, it's someone who's confident and also positive. Someone who does it well, who's committed to excellence, is someone who's comprehensive, who wants to do the job right. Someone who's communicative, who is customer centered, and wants to communicate everything that they're doing to the customer so that they know what's going on.
So the theory here is to kind of have the 4 C's of customer communication.
Yep.
Wow.
Exactly. Customer interaction. Yeah.
That's a lot of C's. The task is to define each of those.
So with being compassionate, there's a couple things that I listed out here that is very important with that. It's the first thing is being interactional versus transactional. So what we want is not simply a business transaction with the customer, but we want them to feel like I'm a human doing business with a human, so let's interact. So we do that by showing compassion to them. And one point I show is empathy. I think that's a huge thing that's missing in the business world today. And I don't know if you know the difference that has been made between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is kind of feeling with someone.
Let me explain the differences between sympathy and empathy. What a lot of people, the terminology that a lot of people have been using these days is a relational transaction, being relational versus transactional.
Yeah.
So I really want to talk to Levi because I want to learn about Levi versus I'm going to talk to Levi because he has some money that I want to get from him.
Exactly.
Craft that solution to cater to those needs versus just trying to sell you this particular phone because this is the phone that I have.
Right.
Is this the best phone for you?
Yeah.
And it's not because it's a Samsung.
Doing that, having compassion, empathy, interacting, relating, is all things that are building a connection between the customer and the business.
All right, so what's the point number 2?
Point number 2 is confident, and I added positive in there. So ultimately, we want someone who knows what they're doing. It means that someone may not know exactly what solution is, or they may not know what a certain product is, but we are confident in who we are as a business. We're confident in what we can do. We should always be looking to provide a solution for a problem, even if it's something that is beyond our scope. So that changes the it always changes the flow from a negative.
Well, and it plays into a lot of the team aspect that we have here is I don't know the answer, but I know someone who does.
Yep.
And so I'm going to help you find the solution. I'm going to help you
Right.
find the answer to this. So you basically are saying being confident by having a can-do attitude. You know, somebody asked me the other day if we required beards to be an employee like that.
The next C is comprehensive. So I think, again, this has something to do with our dedication to excellence and success, because we want to show the customer that we care about them. The only way to do that is to give them the utmost service we can. So that means when we're on the phone with our customers, we want to give them the right information. We want to give them all the information they need.
So as we've had this conversation a couple of times. It's not just correct information, but complete information. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's the 4 C's that he came up with for trying to figure out how to communicate with our customers.
And so I think a big part of that is educating the customer on what we're doing. And I know we recently did a customer training session when some of our customers can come in and learn about the locks and the keys and different ways that they can order it, the hardware and all that.
All right, and then the 4th one was
The last one was
communicative.
yeah, which is honestly probably the most simple, but maybe even the hardest to actually do is communicative. You know, when anything changes, to communicate with the customer to make sure that they know where the work order's at and what we're doing for them. So I think it takes just being proactive and displaying all of these previous aspects of being compassionate, confident, comprehensive.
All right, so this is the concept, the 4 C's, and you're going to now develop some additional training around that, and then follow that up with a procedure.
Yep,
I guess
processes,
the actual tasks that are associated, but that is the scope of what we're wanting to try to accomplish and the end goal that we're going to try to achieve.
Right.
All right, so that's part 1. It's more of the brainstorming capacity of this customer service initiative. So we'll give you an update as we make progress with this and see what the outcome is.